There are no accidents. You did not stumble upon this message. You were drawn here by an intelligence deeper than your conscious mind, summoned by the whisper of your own spirit. And now, something in you is ready, not ready to be entertained, not ready to be inspired for a moment, only to return to the same patterns, the same stories, the same shell of living. Number you are ready to be transformed radically, irrevocably, eternally, because there comes a moment in every life when the soul refuses to kneel to circumstance any longer, when the voice within becomes louder than the noise outside, when you can no longer pretend that the life you've been living is enough for who you truly are. And if that moment is now, then listen, not with your ears, but with your entire being. You were born with power, clothed in invisibility. The world taught you to look outside, to measure yourself by the works of others, to believe in effort without belief, in toil without imagination. But that world, the one you see with your eyes, is only the shadow cast by your inner state. Everything you touch is the echo of your assumption. This is the secret. The world does not move on action. It moves on belief. Not belief in the religious sense, but belief in its rawest form, conviction, assumption, the unseen law that molds clay into destiny. You can act and act and act, and yet remain unchanged. But assume once, fully, with feeling and faith, and the universe will shatter mountains to bring that assumption to life. Do you understand what this means? It means your entire life, your finances, your body, your relationships, your reputation, all of it is clay, and you are the potter. You are not here to find your purpose. You are here to assume it. Once, a young man worked for pennies. He walked through the halls of the great industrialists, carrying tools in his hands and dreams in his heart. When others laughed, he stayed quiet. When they mocked his silence, he smiled, for he had seen something they had not. He had dared to imagine himself as more. That man was Andrew Carnegie. And he did not rise because the world gave him permission. He rose because he gave himself permission to believe in what had not yet appeared. This is the law that governs kings and commoners alike. What you assume yourself to be, not what you wish, not what you hope, not what you plead, but what you assume becomes your world. That is why two men can walk through the same valley, one in despair, the other in dominion. It is not the valley that defines them. It is the vision they carry. Let the world call it delusion. Let them scoff and say, be realistic. They do not know what you know. That realistic is only code for repeat the past. That facts are only former acts, and the only true reality is that which you accept inside. You want to change your life? Then change your inner speech, the words you whisper to yourself in the dark. They are the blueprint of your future. If your inner voice is bitter, your world will sour. If your inner voice is timid, your world will shrink. But if your inner voice burns with vision, with certainty, with love, then the world must bend to the fire of your faith. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not your bank account. You are not what they called you, what they rejected, what they failed to see. You are what you accept as true. Do not say, I am trying. Say, I am. Do not say, one day I'll be. Say, I am already. This is not fantasy. This is not delusion. This is the primal force of the universe. I am. When Moses stood before the burning bush and asked, who shall I say sent me? The voice replied, not with a name, but with a truth. I am that I am. What is this if not the greatest revelation ever spoken? I am that, whatever I claim. I am that. Not someday, but now. I am that. And the world must reflect it. You may not yet see the riches, the beauty, the glory, but do not let your eyes deceive you. Let your faith be your sight. All great ones knew this. Edison saw the light before the filament ever glowed. Lincoln saw a united country before the war was over. Disney saw castles before there was even land. They lived in the end. They walked in the assumption. They felt the reality of the thing desired so completely that the outer world had no choice but to catch up. This is the essence of transformation. You cannot become something new by trying to be it. You must feel it now. To want is to declare you do not yet have, but to assume is to collapse time. So the question is not, how do I get there? The question is, can I feel that I'm already there? For that feeling, that unseen knowing, is the bridge from idea to incarnation. And do not fear contradiction. Do not worry if your outer world denies your assumption at first. Let them say you're foolish. Let them point at your circumstances. It is only the old world gasping its last breath. Persist. Stand firm. Assume it again and again and again, not through force, but through faith. Not with gritted teeth, but with quiet confidence. Just as the sun does not strain to rise, your new life will not strain to arrive once you have assumed it. Let this be the day your transformation begins, not through effort, but through embodiment. You will never beg for what you've already accepted. You will never chase what you've already claimed, and you will never doubt what you've already become. Say it now. I am the one I have been waiting for. They told you to wait. Wait for the right time. Wait for the signs. Wait until the world agrees that you are ready. But the world does not lead transformation. It follows it. Do not wait. Declare. For nothing changes until you decide. Not wish, not hope, not want. Decide. To decide is to cut off all other options, to step into a burning house with no exit except forward, and know that forward is yours to command. You were not born to tiptoe through life, apologizing for your power. You were born to awaken. So speak to the air and let it know what you are. Speak to the silence and plant your name in it like a banner. Speak to your own bones and say, this is who we are now. Every word you say becomes law in the kingdom of self. And if you speak as a beggar, you will be treated as such. But if you speak as a creator, then the universe becomes your clay. The seed does not ask the soil if it's worthy to rise. The lion does not ask the jungle for permission to roar. So why do you ask the world for confirmation before you believe? You are the confirmation. Not because you feel ready, but because you are willing to act as though you already are. That's all transformation has ever required. Now listen closely, for what I am about to say must never be forgotten. There is no power outside of your assumption. No condition has dominion over you. No past mistake can chain you. No failure can define you unless you accept it as your name. Refuse to wear any title not born of your own desire. The world will call you many things. Too much, too little, too late, too soon. But none of these matter. The only label that matters is the one you answer to when you are alone in the silence. Do you answer as a victim or as the architect of worlds? You cannot serve two masters, fear and faith. You must choose. If you choose fear, your life will shrink to fit it. But if you choose faith, if you dare to assume the impossible, then the impossible becomes inevitable, not overnight, not always instantly, but surely, absolutely, irreversibly. For the law does not fail. It only waits for you to obey it. Do not say, but I don't see the way. Say, the way will appear because I walk. Vision is not granted to the passive. Vision is born in motion, in walking forward while the mist still covers the path, in stepping out when logic screams, turn back, in believing not because of evidence, but in defiance of it. This is the fire that built empires. It is what moved Lincoln to hold a torn nation in his heart as if it were already healed. It is what whispered to Joan of Arc, not in strategy, but in identity, you were born to lead. It is what Edison knew as he failed 10,000 times, that the light already existed. It only needed a home, and so do you. You already exist in your highest form, not someday. Now you only need to wear it like a robe, speak it like breath, walk in it like second skin. There is no future version of you that is more worthy than the one who listens now. There is no future moment more perfect than this one. You have already been chosen. The question is, will you accept it? Transformation is not found in 1,000 steps. It begins with one step taken as if you are already what you seek. Do not let the mind say, "But I don't feel it." Teach the mind. Train the mind. Remind the mind that feelings follow belief, not the other way around. Put on the feeling like a royal garment. Do not rehearse the lack, rehearse the fulfillment. Not, "What if it doesn't work?" but "What if it already has?" Close your eyes and walk the halls of your new home. Touch the walls, smell the air, sit in the chair of your new life and feel its weight. Speak with the voice of one who has already overcome. This is not pretending, it is preparing, not fantasizing, but fertilizing the soil of reality. And you will be tested, not by the world, by your own reflection. It will whisper, "This isn't real. Who do you think you are?" And you will answer, not in resistance, but in revelation. "I am the one who commands reality by accepting it," because you've learned the truth. The law does not care about effort. It responds only to acceptance, to the feeling of already done, to the unwavering "I am" planted like a flag in your consciousness. This is the sword you carry now. Let the world throw its doubts, its delays, its distractions. Let it rage and storm and scream, but you remain unmoved, because your kingdom is not built in the outer world. It is forged within, and once you have built it there, nothing can stop it from appearing without. Now take this in. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are, and you are only what you accept yourself to be. All else is illusion. You cannot fake frequency. You cannot mask vibration. The universe does not respond to your words alone, but to the energy behind them. You must become the thing you seek in feeling, in imagination, in identity, and the world will mirror it without hesitation. This is why gratitude is not an emotion reserved for after the blessing. Gratitude is the emotion that calls the blessing in. To give thanks in advance is to say to the universe, "I trust you. I know the law. I know that what I feel with conviction must be made flesh." So give thanks now, not for what you have, but for what you've already claimed in consciousness. Give thanks as if it's already yours because it is. When you wake, give thanks. When you walk, give thanks. When the doubt creeps in, give thanks louder. When you feel like nothing is changing, give thanks with more intensity, because gratitude precedes the miracle. It's the signature on the spiritual contract, the unseen agreement that says, "This is mine and I receive it now." You've been taught to grind, to hustle, to strive, but never to assume, never to sit quietly in a room, close your eyes, and enter the state of the wish fulfilled. But that stillness is the birthplace of every miracle. The ancient texts say, "Be still and know that I am God." Why still? Because only in stillness can you drop the masks. Only in stillness can you remember the truth, that you are not separate from what you seek. You are it. You are not looking for love. You are love looking for a mirror. You are not chasing wealth. You are abundance, buried beneath doubt and delay. You are not hoping for peace. You are peace, disturbed only by belief in lack. So be still. Return to yourself. Speak the words within. "I am that I am. I am already all that I seek." And then move, not with desperation, but with direction. Walk with the confidence of a soul that has seen the ending and knows it is glorious. You may not know how it will happen. That is not your burden. The how belongs to the infinite. Your job is only to remain in the state of done. Do not check the clock. Do not measure progress with your eyes. Do not dig up the seed to see if it's growing. Remain faithful. When your senses scream, "It's not here," answer them with vision. When your old identity tries to pull you back, smile and return to the new. You do not need to fight the old. You only need to stop feeding it, starve the old story, refuse to entertain it, and it will wither on its own. Identity is not destroyed. It is replaced. You do not remove the darkness by fighting it. You remove it by turning on the light. And as you walk this new path, life may still shake around you. Circumstances may appear to fall apart. Let them. Do not panic. Do not run. Stand firm. Sometimes the collapse is the clearing. The breaking is the blessing. The storm is the servant of the seed you planted in faith. When you assumed your new reality, you set a process in motion, a divine rearrangement. Let the pieces fall where they may. The law is precise. It will not return void. What you hold in consciousness with feeling, with repetition, with faith, must become real. This is not motivational fluff. This is law. The same law that governs stars and seasons governs your outcomes. Just as the tide follows the moon, your reality follows your assumption. Just as the earth spins without strain, your transformation unfolds without effort when you are in alignment. So get into alignment, not through willpower, but through identity. I am. Not I'm trying, not I'm becoming, I am. That is your new center, your new gravity. And from that center, all things must revolve. You do not need to become worthy. You already are. You do not need to beg. You need only to believe. You do not need more time. You need deeper assumption. And that shift begins now. Let the old self fall away like autumn leaves. Let the stories that once defined you dissolve in the heat of your new awareness. You are not what happened to you. You are not your doubts, your failures, your waiting. You are the awareness of I am. And I am is always becoming what you decree. You must now understand there is no waiting left to do. There is no more hoping, no more doubting, no more pacing the cage. The key has always been in your hands, and if you've seen it now, even for a second, then everything has already begun to change. This is your permission slip. Not granted by the world, but by the Word, the one within you. It says, I am the resurrection and the life. Not someday. Not after proof, not if they approve. Now, that which you feel yourself to be, in the silence of your heart, in the sanctuary of your imagination, that is who you are. And everything else is just the shadow of a former belief, dissolving in the light of this new assumption. You no longer walk as the one who hopes, you walk as the one who knows. You no longer seek signs, you become the sign. You no longer ask for evidence, you become the evidence. Watch how the world begins to bend. Watch how people treat you differently without knowing why. Watch how doors once locked begin to swing open without effort. It is not because the world has changed, it is because you have changed. And the world, like clay on the potter's wheel, must respond. This is the power that built pyramids, that split seas, that pulled dreams from the invisible and laid them brick by brick in the visible. And it belongs to you. You are not small. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not the echo of others' opinions. You are the word made flesh, the thought made form, the dream made reality. And now the dream must walk. So speak your life into being. Speak your health, your wealth, your peace, your kingdom. Speak not as one requesting, but as one remembering. For your future is not something you chase, it is something you remember into being. It already exists. And your assumption is the bridge. And should you forget, as all of us do, return here. Not to these words, but to this truth. Return to stillness. Return to the inner chamber, where no one else can enter, where your voice is the only law. And say again, I am. Say it with power. Say it with fire. Say it with no evidence, no applause, no permission. And say it until the ground beneath your feet shifts. For when you accept it, the entire universe rearranges itself around that identity, not because it is your right, but because it is your nature. So now, walk. Walk as the one who has already arrived. Eat, speak, move, breathe as the one who holds it all. And when the mirror of the world tries to show you the old reflection, smile. Because that reflection is outdated. It has no power here. You are not that anymore. You are not the caterpillar. You are the sky-born creature, wings dripping with new identity, vision burning in your chest, light radiating from your eyes. You are the new. You are the transformed. You are the assumed fulfilled. So if you're seeing this, it means you were ready, not for change, for rebirth. And now it is done. Let the past bow to you. Let the future be built by you. And let the present reveal its wonder to you as the mirror of your inner world, rising up to greet the soul that finally remembered. I am the one I've been waiting for. So now stand, not in your room, but in your spirit. Stand like a tree that has remembered its roots. Stand like a flame that has remembered its fire. Stand like a soul that has remembered it was never lost, only hidden beneath the noise. And from this place, decree. I am wealth, not because I see money in my hand, but because my hand is no longer clenched in fear. I am health, not because the body is perfect, but because the body now responds to the perfection I hold in mind. I am love, not because someone chose me, but because I have chosen myself, fully, finally, without condition. And when you speak these words, not as hopes, but as identities, feel the world beneath you shift. You've done more than hear a message today. You've remembered your name. Before the beginning of time, you were already whole. You were not sent here to suffer. You were sent here to remember. Remember what? That every room you walk into bends to the self you bring. That no opportunity is greater than the consciousness that perceives it. That no one, no thing, no force has dominion over the one who sees themselves as already free. You were never waiting on the universe. The universe was waiting on you, waiting for you to take off the costume of doubt, waiting for you to drop the weary cloak of not yet, waiting for you to say, with the same conviction that built galaxies, it is done, I am it. And now that you have, everything accelerates. Ideas will come, people will show up, doors will appear that were never there before because they were never needed before. You weren't ready to walk through them, but now you are. You no longer live by reaction. You live by revelation. Your steps are no longer hesitant. They are declarations. Your actions are no longer trying to make something happen. They are echoes of what you've already claimed because you've stopped chasing. You've started embodying, and embodiment is the only path worth walking. When you look in the mirror now, see past the face, see past the past, look straight into the eyes and recognize the God force looking back. Say it again, not with your lips, but with your life. I am. And as you go about your day, hold this truth like fire in your chest. There are no delays, only doubt. There are no setbacks, only self-corrections. There are no missed chances, only moments of forgetting who you are. But now you remember, you are the author, not the reader. You are the composer, not the echo. You are the sculptor of your fate, and every thought is a stroke of the chisel. So sculpt, shape, speak, not with desperation, but with dominion. And when night comes, do not lay down with worry. Lay down as the one who has already received. Let sleep become a ceremony, not of escape, but of creation. Enter the silence and feel the end fulfilled. Let the dream not be fantasy, let it be prophecy. Let your inner world be so rich, so real, so full, that when morning comes, the outer must obey it. You are no longer hoping to become, you are now simply expressing what you have always been. And in that stillness, as your head rests and your breath slows, repeat not with effort but with ease. It is mine. I am it. It is done. So now, speak. Let every cell remember. Let every doubt dissolve. Let the old you fall away like ash in the wind, and say, not as one reciting lines, but as one commanding the fabric of reality, I am not waiting, I am arriving, I am not seeking, I am seeing, I am not trying, I am being, I am not reaching, I am receiving, I am not incomplete, I am the whole. Let the soul rise, let the old patterns break, let the world rearrange, because I now say, I am the door, and I am the one who walks through it. I am the light, and I am the one who shines. I am the gift, and I am the giver. I am the answered prayer. I am the fulfilled desire. I am the reality I used to chase. Let nothing in me say otherwise. If the voice of doubt returns, it shall find no audience. If the shadows rise again, They will be met with fire. If the old story knocks, I will answer with silence. For I am new, I release the past, I bless it and bury it, not with sorrow, but with honor. It brought me here, but here is not where I stop. Here is where I rise. I rise not because I'm told I can. I rise because I've remembered I already did. There was never a fall, only forgetting, and now the memory returns. I remember what I am. I am the dreamer. I am the word. I am the breath behind the form. I am the cause behind the curtain, and I no longer speak in whispers. I speak in decree. So hear me now, not just you, but all things. Let my body be strong, because I see it strong. Let my finances rise, because I no longer see lack. Let love flood my life, because I walk in love. Let joy surround me, because I wear it like a crown. Let all things obey the truth I carry now. I am already what I once waited to become. And because of that, I move differently. I speak differently. I walk into every room knowing that I belong, not because of their approval, but because of my awareness. I am not in competition. I am in creation. I am not begging for miracles. I am the miracle. I do not count losses. I multiply blessings. I do not shrink for comfort, I expand for truth, and I shall not apologize. I shall not play small. I shall not hesitate when the next level calls, because I am not hoping for the door to open. I am the key. Now breathe. Inhale like you're pulling the stars into your lungs. Exhale like you're releasing every lie you ever believed about who you are. And again, inhale. This is your power. Exhale. This is your becoming. Inhale. This is the life that already belongs to you. Exhale. Let everything that's not in alignment fall away. Now stand again, not in the body, but in the identity. Stand as the one who remembers. Now let it rise. Let everything you've spoken, everything you've claimed, everything you've felt in the silence rise up and crown you. You are no longer just a listener of truth. You are its embodiment. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign others have been waiting for, the one who walks into a room and alters its gravity, the one who no longer wonders if they're worthy, because their very presence becomes the proof. You were never here to merely survive. You were never here to just make it work. You were here to unfold divinity in real time. The soil beneath you, the air around you, the cells within you, all of it now responds to a new instruction. Let this be the moment all things shift. Let this be the day your shadow breaks into light. Let this be the exact second your soul takes its throne, because from this point forward, you never again ask, can I? Should I? What if I'm not ready? That version of you is gone, burned away by fire, replaced by certainty. Now the world shall begin to mirror the change. Opportunities will come not because you chase them, but because they are drawn to who you now are. People will treat you differently because their spirit recognizes the authority in your voice, even if they can't explain it. Your body will regenerate. Your finances will reflect surplus. Your life will unfold like scripture written by the divine hand of your own awareness, and it will all feel inevitable because it is. The seeds are already planted. The roots are already reaching. The bloom is not coming. It is here. So live from the end. Walk from the finish. Speak as if the ink has already dried, because it has. And if your mind ever forgets, return here, to this stillness, to this knowing, to this burning, blazing, unshakable realization. I am. Not because someone said so, not because you read it in a book, not because a voiceover told you, but because something ancient and eternal in you finally woke up and remembered, I have always been, and now the world must remember too. Let there be light, not in the sky, in you. Let there be peace. Let there be wealth. Let there be purpose. Let there be no more hesitation, no more smallness, no more delay. Let all things rearrange to reflect the one who now commands reality not with force, but with knowing, not with fear, but with love, not with hoping, but with the unmovable calm of, it is done. So walk on now, chosen one. The shift has already occurred. not out there. In you, absolutely. Let's close this journey with one final extended ending, a soul solidifying finale that leaves the listener not only changed, but reborn. This section is designed to echo like prophecy, a final declaration that seals their new identity into the very marrow of their being. It won't fade out, it won't dim, it will roar quietly, like the moment before lightning touches earth. Here is your final extended ending. Now breathe again, not as the person you were, but as the presence you've become. This isn't just the end of a message, this is the beginning of a reign. From this moment forward, every breath you take is not just oxygen, it is intention. Every step you walk is not just motion, it is command. Every thought you entertain is not just mental noise, it is the blueprint of your becoming. You are not the passenger of your life, you are the captain, the cartographer, the wind, and the sea. And where you go from here is entirely yours to name. So speak it. Don't ask. Don't plead. Don't wonder. Decree. Let the heavens hear it. Let the earth feel it. Let time itself bend to it. I am no longer becoming. I am no longer hoping. I am no longer watching. I am no longer dreaming. I am the dream fulfilled. This world is your echo, and now it will echo your new name. Let them call you unrealistic. Let them say you've changed. Let them stare in disbelief as the doors open without you knocking, as the answers come without you asking, as the old reality dissolves like a mirage beneath your stride. They won't understand. They're not supposed to. This path isn't for the masses, it's for those who remember. And now you do. You remember that you were never the reflection. You were always the light. You remember that the world wasn't something to fix, it was something to reveal. You remember that your faith isn't a wish, it's a force. That your word isn't poetry, it's law. And as you leave this moment, know this. You carry a new vibration now, not a temporary high, not a fleeting emotion, but a frequency of dominion, one that cannot be shaken, cannot be lost, cannot be forgotten again. You carry the code, you carry the crown, you carry the flame, and because of that, it is done. It is done. It is done. Now go. Build what was already yours. Speak what has already answered you. Become what has already bowed to you. And if ever the world dares to ask, who do you think you are? You will answer with no fear, no hesitation, no apology. I am.